did. I've only 30 years to say.
Yes, so thanks very much. But you didn't have any presents, so.
You could have bought us one.
Happy to you today. Here, my girlfriend.
Speak.
Yes.
And give speeches. And then from doing that, you get feedback from your club members about how well you've done. And then that helps you to improve for next time. Now, the thing about the difference between us and maybe doing it somewhere else is you'll never be chastised, you'll never be put down, there's no negativity about what you've done. No matter, so you might think you've done terrible with your speech.
Yeah.
But we will look at you and say, well, no, actually, here's a couple of things that you've done really well there, and you've done better than you thought.
Yes.
And if you do this for next time, you'll be even better.
How many people have you attending?
So at the minute we've got 15 members.
15, and you're hopeful to get a few more members. You meet in the Canal Court Hotel.
Canal Court Hotel, the Morn Suite, the first and third Wednesday of the month.
Yes, and the 15 come. And the format of the meeting, what happens at the meeting?
So I've actually got an agenda with me here that we use.
Right.
So we always print off an agenda for each of the meetings.
May I look at that?
Yeah, yeah.
Now this is your agenda. This is the agenda for the Newry Speakers Club. President, you're the president, Tony.
Yes, yes.
Greta Fagan is the Toastmaster. Wordmaster, Seamus Lafferty. Poet Master, Chrissy McCall. This is lovely. It's very remote. All these, Sergeant at Arms. Goodness gracious, it's all great. So there's registration. The meeting starts. The introduction. The Word Master, the Poet Master, 5 minutes, and then the speeches, the stage speeches. And Mary Sands is going to speak at this one. Great sporting achievements. And the next one is Patrick Murray. A difference a guitar makes. And you see, the thing is, they're not too long.
No, that's the thing.
And this is the crucial thing about speaking.
Yes.
When they start to yawn or fidget, you stop.
Yes.
So your history of wishing to speak, wishing to communicate, where does it come from?
For me personally, I was always very, very shy and very quiet, and I didn't know what to say in groups of people, and I was looking for a way to improve my social skills, basically. So I was looking at ways to do that, and one of the ways was to do public speaking.
Yes.
I thought, no, maybe I'll try that there. So I used Google.
Yeah.
And I found Toastmasters International.
Wow.
And they said, oh, there's clubs all around the world, 14,000 clubs in like 126 countries. There's bound to be one not too far from Newry.
Yeah.
And I found out
you found Newry?
There's one in Newry.
It's been here since what, about 10, 20 years, is it? What, many years?
Well, no, actually not that long. It's been here since about 2009.
2009, so you're 6 years,
yeah. So I found it in Newry. I went along that first night. I was really, really nervous, but when I got there, I was made welcome. Everybody was really friendly.
Yeah.
And I went for a few more meetings and I got the bug, and that was it. It was like...
And did you get talking that first night?
The first, no, I wouldn't have had the courage to get up and speak the first night.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that this is what happens? People say, oh, don't ask me, I can't speak. Yes. And really, I think that's really when we're saying that I can't speak, I'm frightened to speak because I want to be brilliant, I know I'm not brilliant. I don't want to be embarrassed. All of this comes into play.
Yes, well that's the thing, speaking is a skill. It's like anything in life. Somebody can learn how to deliver a great speech and a great talk on something. And you can only do it through practice. And that's why something like Newry Speakers Club is great, because you're meeting twice a month, every month, except for 1 or 2 months in the summer. So you're getting that regular practice of getting up and being able, and there's lots of roles in the meetings to get up and speak. So you've got your stage speeches, which are the main central theme, but there's also roles like table topics, for instance, where you can just have a topic of conversation and we're going to throw it out to the room. Yeah. And the whole idea is to get people thinking on their feet.
Yes.
So it might be something that maybe they haven't come across, but you're going to ask them, what do you think about this?
It's almost as though you're describing my role in Destination Uri, that you think on your feet, you just keep
Yes,
talking,
yes,
and
yeah.
you keep shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze is a nice idea. You just let it be easy. There's
Yes.
not, the thing about speaking, whether it be here or with your Toastmasters or with your Newry Speakers Club, no one's going to die as a consequence of a
No, that's
slip-up.
the thing. You
And people
think-
say, oh, I made a mistake there. But there's no such thing as a mistake. It's conversational.
There's no, that's the thing. There's no such thing as a mistake. There's always something that you're learning, and it's all about in spontaneity. Things aren't meant to go perfectly well.
No.
It's all about just two people or whatever sitting, chatting, and just letting that energy flow between them. And one of the keys actually I found is whenever you're talking to someone or a group, you focus on the group. Forget
Yeah.
about yourself. Focus on them.
Yeah, yeah. I was once told, a very long time ago, first of all in my writing, young man, he said, stand naked as a Grecian statue in your writing. Cut, cut, and cut again. A lot to be said for that. Keep it simple. Don't overly
Yes.
adorn the verbiage, you know, non-adjectival. Just see it, tell it is not a bad way to go.
Yes, that's what they say. Whenever you're doing a speech on whatever it is, write it how you speak. So
Yeah.
don't try to write as if, oh, this is going to be a great piece of literature.
No.
No, it's all about how you speak, how you normally communicate.
Do you know the great master of that was the broadcaster Alistair Cook in his letters from America. You could almost feel the commas coming into it because he would say, yesterday in downtown New York, I met an Irishman who was a bit lost. But sure, I told him the Irish can never be lost in New York. It just such a lovely, lovely voice had Alistair Cook, and he did it magnificently. But if you, for instance, people will come to you, they want to do well, they're frightened, I think, for some odd reason. They're frightened, you know.
Yes, it's because generally a lot of people have, whenever they do public speaking, say at school you have to do something and you get up and you do it, and a lot of times people have a bad experience.
Yeah, called to the front of the class.
Yes, oh, everybody remembers doing that there.
Yes.
And you tell yourself, oh, what's going to happen? Oh, I'm not going to be good at this and all this here. And it's all about giving people a good experience. So when somebody comes to Newry Speakers, if they get up to speak, you're going to be applauded, you're going to be commended for doing it. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. It's about building people up and giving them that confidence.
Because the secret, and when you join the Newry Speakers Club, and I do hope you will, the secret is that the folk in the Newry, to a man and a woman, they want you to succeed. Mm-hmm. No one wants to see you shot down in flames. No. They're there to lift you and to make you a better communicator. Now, we'll try something here now, if we will. Why don't we? Mm-hmm. We'll take 3 minutes each to talk about something that we love. I'll start it because give you a chance to think of your 3 minutes and we'll see where we are.
Okay.
And I was noticing this morning, it's an interesting enough thing actually, noticing this morning that we're destroying the planet with plastic. There's plastic waste here, there's plastic waste there, plastic waste across the oceans. And everything from the common newt that may be found in a village pond, although village ponds are less and less these days, up to a whole pod of whales are being wiped out. And in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, there's an area as big as, I believe, Texas, where the currents, circulate and pull the plastic together. And that's an island of plastic in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Now, we had an experience of this in Newry, believe it or not, when we founded the Canal Preservation Society. John Donnelly and I did this, and we used to go down the canal and collect the rubbish. Very often we would have found a duck, a mallard, and the mallard would be swimming along dying because it would have found a piece of plastic. They used on these carry-out tins of beer.
Yes, I've seen them, yes.
Rings of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 connected rings of plastic. And the 6 connected rings of plastic, the duck would have put the head in, went around it, and bit into it, and suddenly it's like this. And it's in a bad way. So therein is my 3 minutes, and the hint of my ability to go non-stop and non-repetitively for 3 minutes really lies in the fact that I chose a subject I knew a wee bit about. That's maybe a secret in there, is it?
That's one of the secrets. And the other secret is something that you care about.
Oh, yes.
Because that'll shine through when you speak.
Absolutely.
That
So,
passion.
Tony of the Newry Speakers Club is going to give us 3 minutes now on something you're passionate about, something you deeply care about, and we look forward to the 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to say I'm passionate about Newry Speakers Club.
Yes, why not?
It's one of the passions I have in life. It is because from when I joined the club 4 years ago to now, I've seen the huge difference in myself from that man that walked in the door that 4 years ago to who I am now, and I wouldn't recognise who I was, because back then when I did my first speech, I would be sitting up the front with my very first, you call it the icebreaker, and I'd be talking away and my mouth was drying up, and I just kept on going, and okay, I'll just keep going here, keep going.
Yeah.
And I just kept going, and I got to the end and I thought, oh God, what happened there? But at the end of it all, everybody was shaking my hand, well done, and I was like, wait.
Wow.
And everybody gives you feedback in the Speakers Club. So you do your speech or your talk or whatever you want, and then one person's assigned to be your main evaluator.
Wow.
And then everybody in the club, they give you feedback as well. So every time I got up to speak, I was getting feedback on how well I've done. And I was improving with every speech I would do.
Yes.
And I could see the difference in practicing for a talk, because I was things I was picking up from before, I was taking that with me. And I've just seen how it's made a difference to me, and the difference it's made in people that come to the club. I've had people that come in and they were mumbling and they were stuttering their words, and you couldn't get them up to speak.
But you're very eloquent in your speaking. It's coming easily to you.
For me, no, it wasn't. For me, I was that guy who wouldn't have said 2 words and would have had struggled to have eye contact. So for me, I've learned an awful lot of skills.
Yes.
In the club.
Yes.
And I just want to push further in my own development, help the club push forward, and for everybody else that comes to the club, because I can see, right, I know this can. It is a bit of work now, but if you put the work in,
it's demonstrable that it works. You hear the man
it works.
speaking, and it's a credit to you. And we want more members for the Newry Speakers Club. It's a social event too.
Yes, it is a social event, because for some people, they're very busy. They've got maybe kids, whatever. They've got different responsibilities, and it can be a night out for them.
Yes, of course.
Meeting up and knowing people, and we also do events where we go for a meal and bowling, like we did at Christmas.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, everybody went. We went to the Sheep Bridge up the road there.
Uh-huh.
We had a lovely dinner. Then we went for 2 games of bowls, and it was great crack. It was outside the Speakers Club setting of being in the Canal Court, so everybody could relax a bit more. It was a bonding session for everybody.
And your Canal Court night, how long does it last? What time does it start? What time does it end?
Well, we tell everybody registration is 7:45, because then you get started at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
And then it runs from 8 o'clock to 9:30.
Yeah. And you see, people can make a night of that in itself. You can decide, I'm going to go to the Canal Court and have my dinner at 6 o'clock, and take from 6 to the beginning of it having dinner, and then go to it and enjoy that. Or maybe 1 or 2 or 3 will decide afterwards, let's go and have something to eat now. So it becomes a whole flowering of an experience.
It's great to have guests come in, and we actually did have a woman who was just walking around having a look to see what it was about, and she found the sign on the door, and she came what's in there? Come on in.
Yeah, absolutely. So the age spectrum of those you have, the youngest you have is what?
The youngest, I think, he is probably about 22.
22.
The youngest person, and the oldest in the group is probably late 50s.
Wow.
So a good age spectrum there.
You don't have any old 72-year-olds like myself?
We don't, but we could do with some more, maybe.
Maybe more of the older people. Do you know where you should make contact with good friends of this station, Pat Cunningham and Chris Roberts, Mary Cunningham, over there at the University of the Third Age.
Right.
They're in Clanrye House in Newry, not Clanrye House, the Abbey premises over in Abbey Way. And they're in there, the old Christian Brothers Abbey School.
Yes.
And people of a certain age, and they have now 700 people. Why wouldn't the Speakers Club open talks with Chris Roberts. We have an idea for you. How would you like the Speakers Club to be involved with the U3A? And it expands. I mean, it's only an idea, maybe not.
That's a great idea.
But it's worth having a look at.
Yes, definitely.
Take it out from beyond the walls and the portals of the Canal Court Hotel.
Go on the road.
Go on the road. This is Newry Speakers to go. Yeah, that would be it. Listen, I wish you well. How do people contact you?
So people can go to our website. You've got newryspeakers.org.
newryspeakers.org. We want you.
And we've also got a Facebook page.
A Facebook page,
Yeah,
which
so
is?
Newry Speakers Club.
Now,
so put that in on it.
Bearing in mind your Toastmaster thing. Oh, yay, oh, yay, oh, yay. How's that? Am I doing all right?
You're doing all right.
Pray silence. You have heard all about it. It's now down to you. Contact the man. newryspeakers.org. newryspeakers.org. Also, in the miracle world of Facebook, you'll find the folk. We wish you well.
Thank you very much.
And travel safely to your work in Lisburn.
Yes.
Tony O'Callaghan,
Thank
go
you.
well. Thank you very, very much indeed.
Walking through snow. It was really beautiful, as well as confetti. You had all the visual images of this great beauty. And just along with that was in the countryside, the magnificence of the whites, the black thorn, the white thorn, the other white blossom of plants and Tommy refused. He knew that the engine he brought wasn't capable of carrying a very heavy load. Foster was really indignant. He said, driver doesn't come here and grumble. Driver doesn't refuse. But Tommy was adamant and he was angry. He said, if you'd sent proper word to Dundalk, I'd have brought a proper